Hello, welcome to our Brexit special, and well, it's all been fun and games as usual on the Brexit front over the last day or two since we last spoke about this. The latest this morning is a report, rumour, we're not sure where it's come from, about possible concessions from the EU, last-ditch concessions around the, well, it's no longer the backstop, it's to do with Northern Ireland remaining part of the customs union, offering the chance for the Northern Ireland Assembly to maybe vote on whether or not they want to stay in or not. The EU allegedly saying that they might offer that if there's a double majority in Stormont, that's the Northern Ireland Parliament, which of course is not currently sitting. The doubts and the sort of problems with this are obvious in that we don't really know where it's coming from. We're not 100% sure if it's true and if it's accurate, and it doesn't look like it's the sort of thing that would particularly wash. I don't think whatever double majority actually means. It certainly means a sort of super majority, perhaps 2/3 of the Assembly voting for it. Whether or not that would work anyway, it tends to be still along the basis that as far as the UK government is concerned, and as far as the DUP, which is the main party in Northern Ireland, is concerned, that it would be akin to sort of tying their hands in terms of future diplomatic relations and trade deals and so on. So it's not really the sort of thing that we think is enough. But it did spark a flurry of activity in cable, the pound rallying off the back of that news. We can see overnight pretty muted price action overnight through the Asian session, and then just here around 8 o'clock started to rise up, hit resistance as we indicated in the morning note around 122.37, 38 there, hit that resistance line which we'd drawn from a previous level. That was the previous high, swing high on the 8th. That swing high was tested, and then we got the report as it pulled back. We got the report out and it spiked higher up here and then broke through the resistance around 122.75, just spiking through that and then back down, but failing the retest. As it retested that high on another move, it failed and it's come back down and is now knocking about between this sort of these two regions here, these two levels that we'd drawn already on the chart. So interesting to see the way the levels are playing out quite neatly for sterling at the moment, as it is very much driven by nothing more than the fumes of what news we get out of the Brexit process. Currently just testing this sort of region here, and then you'd be looking perhaps for it to break down. Should that fail, back down towards the 122 flat sort of region around here, sort of very short term head and shoulders, although head and shoulders not necessarily the best for short term 1 minute price charts, but nevertheless interesting to see that one play out. I think obviously if you draw the longer term chart on sterling, we're still, despite this rally, we're still pretty much close to the lows, and these are the lows going back for some time, going back to really the beginning of September, and we had that sort of collapse down to 119. If we do get a subsequent collapse, then we are looking at 119. So 61% retracement around that 122 level is key for that. And so Brexit talks and so on continue, ostensibly technical talks continue, but really we're looking to see what the political machinations are in terms of the government and the MPs, really the Parliament, and what they decide to do. It does look rather like there is no deal to be done. The call between Boris Johnson and Angela Merkel yesterday seemed to put paid to any deal. So now we're into this end game where we think probably we're heading towards either a sort of battle between no deal and revoke. Reports today, this morning in the paper, saying that around 50 Tory MPs would not be prepared to back no deal on the manifesto should it come to that in a general election. And then that's if Boris Johnson were to reluctantly extend the process by 3 months. He may still do that. He may still send the letter. In fact, he said he will. They'll comply with the Ben bill. So they'll send the letter to extend to extend, but will they actually extend? We're not quite sure. There's a few processes happening there, things that might happen, a few permutations, but at the moment we just don't know if it's no deal, extend, or revoke. All three options remain on the table, and that means that sterling will remain, I think, highly sensitive to headlines, but also fairly well trapped in the recent ranges, with traders unable to take a real directional position as yet. So that's it for the moment. I will be speaking later on to Helen Thomas from Blonde Money, who joins us every week for a roundup of the latest on Brexit and trade and everything going on in the markets. So do join us for that. She'll have some more insights on Brexit and what it might mean for the pound. Otherwise, that's it for now. Thanks for joining us.